At this time, we'll call the November 21st, 2025 meeting of the Wilson County Planning Commission into order. Anyone wishing to give testimony before this board today, if you would, please stand and raise your right hand. I hereby affirm the testimony I give today to be the total truth, so help me God. Say I do, please. Thank you. We need to approve the minutes from the October meeting. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Have a motion to approve from Mr. Ash, second by Ms. Weathers. To approve, all those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion will carry. I will make a motion to move the resolution amending the Development Overlay District to the end of the agenda. Are you okay with that, Christopher?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You also have a calendar on the agenda as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go to it next.
Okay.
Okay. We have a second from Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, move that to the end of the agenda. And we need to approve the 2026 calendar.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion from Mr. Weathers to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Noakes. All those in favor?
Before you vote on that,
I'm sorry.
I just need to wait till you get your second. There's a couple different discrepancies that you haven't normally seen. Only one of them affects you. We did move our deadline meeting 7 days forward to meet some public notice requirements required by the state. It didn't necessarily affect planning, but this way we were able to keep BOZA and planning on the same deadline. It
You've
drastically.
only done that for 1 month. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's for every month. The deadline is now 24 days prior to the planning commission meeting as opposed to what it was at 17.
Okay.
And then in June, that planning commission meeting will be on a Wednesday due to the holiday that week, which would be before BOZA, but that's the only discrepancies.
Yeah, we probably should have read it before we voted on it, but that's
I
okay.
did.
No, I read it.
That's okay. We have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion will carry.
Gotcha.
We're ready to start, Christopher.
Alrighty. The first item on your agenda is a master plan amendment and rezoning, which is going to be, it goes through the land use amendment process for this property. Application has been made by Jeff Kaninsky, Panatone Development, representing property owners Carolyn Gilliland and Clarence Blackburn, requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to medium and high-density to medium and high-intensity commercial area. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same properties from A1 agricultural to C4 planned commercial. This is a master plan specific district. The properties contain approximately 31.57 acres when combined and are located at 2308 and 2450 Gwynn Road, and is further referenced as parcel 10.03 on Wilson County Tax Map 141, parcel 10.06. The Wilson County Land Use Plan calls for this area of the county to be low-density residential. However, this property is bordered on 3 sides by C4 planned commercial zoning that is part of the Nashville Super Speedway property holdings, which are now the Panatone Development. These current Speedway property holdings are being partitioned off and sold incrementally to Panatone for development of light manufacturing, distribution, and corporate office park that exists in addition to the Super Speedway facility on the property. It is the county planning staff's understanding from the developer's application for rezoning that they wish to get the property rezoned so that they may be permitted to continue expansion of their light manufacturing, distribution, and corporate office park without having to accommodate a donut hole of agricultural zone property on the south side of Gwynn Road that they must design around. Wilson County Land Use Plan does not call for additional commercial zoning in this portion of Wilson County. However, the Super Speedway land holdings that are the closest to this property were already zoned commercially outside of the extent of the commercial development that was called for by Wilson County Land Use Plan. Therefore, staff suggests the Planning Commission consider whether the rezoning of the property makes sense to them, given the majority of the zoning on the south side of Gwynn Road in this portion is already zoned C4 planned commercial designation. Staff will note that the application has included notation on the proposed master plan, which is required part of any C4 rezoning request, that there is to be no vehicular access afforded to or from Gwynn Road, and this proposed development, with the exception of a designated designated access for emergency purposes. All vehicular access, including freight traffic, will access the property and exit the property via the Bill France Boulevard State Road 452 entrances that are constructed. Staff has made this rezoning request available to executive representatives of the school system, road commission, and WEMA. The County Stormwater Department has requested that the applicant, planning commission, and other interested parties be put on notice that the presence of sinkholes, caves, wetlands, streams, and land areas are extremely flat, marshy, or steep may affect development of this tract and the total number of lots realized through subdivision development. This rezoning does not appear to be in close or immediate proximity to any Century Farm based on the given information to the Wilson County Planning Department. Given the surrounding area of this parcel and the request would appear to have little adverse effect if granted, staff can see reasoning for approval of this request as this would close off the last isolated section of A1 zone property and around this development. Staff can recommend approval based on the decision previously made by the board on the neighboring properties. There were, if you look at the map in front of you, the 4 C4 labels directly to the east of these properties. Those were the same situation. That's what I'm referencing, where the Planning Commission made a positive recommendation for those properties. Those were originally, I think, 3 separate landowners at that time, and the Planning Commission recommended approval to add those as part of the C4 master plan with the stipulation that there's no access on Gwen Road, and it's all access will be off the existing entrances on 452.
The piece of A1 property directly to, I'm going to call it the north, across Gwen Road, Christopher. Mm-hmm. Is there a home on that? I mean, I don't know if those pictures are.
They are, I think the aerial that you're looking at is 2025. I'm not 100% sure if there's a home on that property, to be honest with you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
There will be a buffer requirement between the existing development and Gwen Road.
Even if there's a road?
I mean, we're going to, yeah, because it's across the road is A1, so we are going to have them screen it similar to what has been required. In most cases, we've had them leave the existing vegetation because it's already established, and that's better than anything they can put in. These 2 properties will have to have some plantings because the existing property owners just don't have that screening already in place.
And the only thing that would be back there would be a crash gate or something of that nature anyway, wouldn't it?
Yes, but there should not need to be one proposed on these 2 properties because they already have that crash gate set up.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Who do we have here to represent this case today?
Good morning. My name is Jeff Connexty with Panatone Development Company. My address is 1 Music Circle South, Nashville, Tennessee. What we're proposing today is really the final stages of the Speedway Industrial Park as developed by Panatone. You can see up on the screen right now that yellow shaded area is the property that we're talking about. That's the master plan that we're proposing. It's really the last land, and it, like Christopher mentioned, it's surrounded on 3 sides by industrial already. Mr. Blackburn and Miss Gillian, we've been talking to them for a number of years. They're finally ready to sell. A lot of that industrial, particularly the Thermo Fisher building, which is on the right-hand side, is very close to Mr. Blackburn's house. So he's ready to move on. And we think it makes sense to build what would be our final building out at the Speedway.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I'm here to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Do we have anyone else here today wishing to speak on this case? Yes, sir, Mr. Evans.
Haskell Evans, 5925 Franklin Road. I've heard it said 3 times already, but it doesn't hurt to say one more time, only because of a situation that occurred yesterday with access to Gwen Road. So there should not be any access to Gwen Road from these properties, correct?
Exactly what's been
Correct.
said, sir.
Thank you.
I can add one more. Thank you, Commissioner, for that. Yeah, we will remove that access road. I apologize for that happening. That was a temporary road that Middle Tennessee Electric asked us to install so they can install a couple of poles. So we are building right now, it's on the far right-hand side, Speedway 14 for Amazon, and we've got to get power on the back side of it. So that road was installed for a temporary construction purpose, but we'll go ahead and pull it out. There's another way for us to get in there, so we'll make sure that there's no access to Gwen.
You make sure that gets the minutes, Christopher.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your site plan will, it won't be on your site plan, will we?
Yeah, the site plan for this, we will not have a crash gate. The only crash gate we got right now is at the end of Marty Robbins Road, where it connects into.
It'll be on your final plan, so.
Yes.
You good with that, Mr. Evans?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak on this case today? Okay. All right. We have any questions or comments from our board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The comment, all vehicular access, including freight traffic, will access property, exit property via Bill France Boulevard. That's indirect, is it not, Chris? They don't border
They
Bill France. so
They do
would
not
use
border Bill
alternate-
France, but the Panatone Industrial Park, they have 1, 2, 3 accesses now on Bill France? 2 accesses onto Bill France.
Mailed in with the property and then considered access only,
Mm-hmm.
52.
It will access off one of their,
Point of clarity.
that is correct. It'll access off one of their industrial road sections that they have internal in the development. And those are public roads.
Does TDOT have any extra ingress, egress that they're thinking about doing, maybe with a light?
I don't
For all
know.
of this addition?
I don't know about a light. I don't know if traffic's gotten to that point on Bill France. I mean, Bill France is currently 5 lanes, so as far as infrastructure improvements, I would probably say
Trying
no.
to get to work on time, doing 70? That's the thing that's troublesome. That was it, Mr. Chairman. That's all the comments and questions I had.
Any other questions or comments from our board? We have a motion.
Motion to approve based on staff recommendations.
A motion to approve by Ms. Weathers to approve based on staff recommendations. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second from Mr. Noakes. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion will carry. Okay.
Alrighty, the next is the Goddard application. Application has been made by Victoria Goddard, Goddard Construction, representing property owner Paul Goddard. Sorry, that was a is requesting a land use plan amendment from low-density residential area to low-density, low-intensity commercial area. The applicant also seeks to rezone the same property from A1 agricultural to C1 neighborhood commercial. The property contains approximately 10.46 acres and is located at 4881 Murfreesboro Road and is further referenced as parcel 42 on Wilson County Tax Map 123. The Wilson County Growth Plan nor the Wilson County Land Use Plan has any direction for this area to be commercial. The property directly across Highway 231 was also rezoned from A1 to I1 light industrial zoning in 2019. The rest of the immediately adjacent parcels are zoned A1 agricultural. There are some additional parcels farther to the south on Highway 231 that are zoned C3 highway commercial, so there may be some precedent for permitting such rezoning of property in this vicinity for commercial purposes. However, the land use plan, which now reflects the above referenced rezonings in close vicinity, had an intent in keeping new commercial development centered around nearby busy corners where traffic counts approach 10,000 cars per day on the highway and 3,000 cars per day on intersecting secondary roads. It intended for development to be zoned to neighborhood scale commercial zoning for development under zone districts such as the C1 neighborhood commercial and the LOC limited office commercial zoning. That said, the majority of the nearby commercially zoned properties are zoned C3 highway commercial or the I1 light industrial. And as an additional note, this property is not within 400 feet of an intersection, so it would not qualify for that busy corner provision that we've tied some of these other rezonings to. Should the County Planning Commission or the County Commission ultimately decide to approve this request for rezoning, a site plan will be required at the time the property is proposed for development under commercial zoning and all commercial requirements, including permitting, paving, landscaping, building material, and public sewer provisions would apply to the property unless variances are granted by the Board of Zoning Appeals for any of the specifically listed site plan and commercial requirements. Finally, staff members have made copies of the rezoning request available to Emergency Services, Road Commission, and the Wilson County School Board. Staff will note that the proposed rezoning falls within the limits of the Maddox-Simpson WEMA Station's 5-mile ISO response zone for fire and emergency services. The County Stormwater Department has requested that the applicant, Planning Commission, and other interested parties be put on notice that the presence of sinkholes, caves, wetlands, streams, and land areas that are extremely flat, marshy, or steep may affect further development of this tract of land. As an additional point of information, this rezoning does not appear to be in close or immediate proximity to any Century Farms based off information provided to the Wilson County Planning Department. With the above stated, staff cannot recommend approval based upon the original intent outlined for zoning and development within the 2006 and 2021 modified land use plans. Staff will point out that there have been similar requests in the general area that the Planning Commission and County Commission have chosen to approve, setting a precedent for these types of requests. But I cannot recommend approval.
Thank you, Christopher. Can you acclimate us a little bit to exactly where we're there on 231?
The industrial piece directly across the street is what would be Cedar Forest Mini Storage, which Fleming Development is building. So it's just north of the flea market, which would be just to the south of this page.
In there where that farm is, that old farm, that now the state's turned into a house, north of Cedar Forest?
Just north of it.
Yeah, just north of Cedar Forest, yes, sir. The biggest landmark down there would be the flea market. It's just north of that as well.
Okay.
It's on the other side of the road, but yes.
Mr. Gard, y'all had another piece of property before us a couple of months ago that, I'm sorry. I know Paul, so I'm looking at him. I apologize.
That's okay. It's the same property. Haskell, you guys approved it for a C3 a couple months ago. Haskell Evans asked us to come back before you to downzone it to a C1. So that's what we're here for. Tori Goddard.
They withdrew their application at county commission, so it is the exact same piece of property that
It
you
is
have
the
heard.
exact same one.
Now I know where I'm at.
Yeah. So instead of a C3, we're asking for a C1.
You're actually asking for a C4. Is that extra?
No,
What are?
C1.
C1.
I think you're reading the other regs.
That's probably where it should have been all along.
There's definitely C1 in the regs.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, you can come up, I apologize. You can tell us anything you want to tell us now. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just letting you know it was the same one you guys had already approved before. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was done at the encouragement of your commissioner.
correct.
Okay. And it still falls within the concepts of what y'all are trying to do here.
It does.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do we have anyone else here wishing to speak on this case today?
Let's go Evans, 5925 Franklin Road, just to give a little bit of explanation. This was done at my request just to alleviate some concerns that were brought up during and after the planning commission meeting when they first came. The C1 would still accommodate their needs for the property, with it being that close to the state park. This, in my thought, would kind of alleviate some of those concerns. So I would ask that y'all approve it, and if you do, then I would also ask for any relief that this board can grant them as far as the fees that had to be paid redundantly. So. As far as the advertising, I understand that can't be, but as far as the site visit or anything, then talking with staff, then he felt like that there wasn't any need in having to charge that. So anything y'all can do for him, I'd appreciate it, because it was done at my request.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak on this case today? Seeing none, do we have any comments from our board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We've all been inundated, Mr. Chairman and Representative for that area, with land use requests, interviews, and drawings, plans, and this doesn't show a C1 in that area on the latest drawing that I looked at for my last interview with your consultant. Not this part.
Well, you're talking about a speculative land use plan at this point. Yes.
But speculative at best, that's what we've been dealt with. So there was supposed to be a delineation line that we discussed up above this.
I don't know how far south that line goes. I
And
can't.
this would be an outlier for that, based on the discussions that I've seen and heard in the drawing. So, I mean, you guys should have had the same interview I had, and the discussion with the drawings based on the consultant. Mr. Chairman, am I speaking out of just supposition
It
here?
was my understanding everything out to the park.
I am not a.
I think it was
I
above
was not
that, sir.
prepared for
Sir?
that
I think
question.
it was above that, but I could be not remembering right. I've slept a day or two, so.
And in fairness, that is not an approved
That is not an approved document
map
that you
for us
can
to
make
make
any
decisions
variance.
on at this point.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
been
sure we need to be referencing it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talks on that, Mr. Renfro. I can't recall exactly how far south the commercial corridor is proposed on that at the moment. I know there is a gap, and it starts back up around Fall Creek Road and goes south all the way to the county line. I can't remember where the gap stops, but
My understanding was near the quarry. at that point and stop there,
Two Cedar Forest.
That,
as far as overall land use for the new proposal.
gotcha.
And I'm just trying to,
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that may be true, but I
basically
would,
are grandfathered in because of previous approvals, 2019 before my board tenure. So anyway, that was just a,
yeah, regardless of where that goes, I would advise you not to make a motion based off of a land use plan that is in concept.
I understand. Anything else, Mr. Renfro?
no, sir, that was it.
Any other questions from our board?
Just a question, one, do we have a mechanism where we could reimburse somebody? Because it appears that the commissioner asked them to come back and do some clarification. Do we have a mechanism by which to refund part of that?
We do, and I think planning commission fees, like Board of Zoning Appeals and Adequate Facilities Tax, that goes to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Planning commission fees, I believe this board would have the purview over that. Because it's not in our zoning ordinance on fees for this. That is an administrative fee for the planning office that we decide on that. Now, the county commission ultimately votes on all fee schedules that we set up, but I believe this board would be the board that would come before.
I don't know if that answers my question. Do we,
Probably not.
do we have a, what,
It's never been done. If we're going to reimburse fees, I would rather take that. I would want to do a little research into that and take that up at the next meeting and get that worked out for them.
They paid a $500 application fee twice. Here's what that,
They paid the $1,200 application fee twice.
$1,200.
Yes. Our advertising cost for that is roughly going to be $150. So, I mean, I'd rather not reimburse the entire fee because we have to do re-advertising. If somebody requests deferral, that is our fee for that to cover that. But I would need to do a little bit more digging into exactly if it's this board or Board of Zoning Appeals that they need to go for to request refunds.
And it's my understanding, and you may be right, but anybody who feels aggrieved by any office in this county
They can appeal it, yes.
to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I know that writing is in that for adequate facilities tax and Board of Zoning Appeals fees. I don't know where the language for our department is for Planning Commission. Because, like, if somebody didn't want to pay a subdivision plat fee, I don't believe that goes to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
you got to take it case by case. I mean,
I would, yes. I mean, if you want to look into that, I'm fine with putting them on the agenda as a moment for discussion for that next month, but I would rather that particular aspect be discussed next month if
You
we're going to
okay with
handle that.
Haskell? We can do what we're going to do here today, and we'll deal with that independently.
I just don't feel confident in giving you all purview to do that without 100% accuracy.
Okay?
I'll make you a motion to get ready.
Okay. Any other questions from our board? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve this, and in that motion, that every effort should be made to reimburse them one of those application fees.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Ash to approve the motion, and to, I don't know if that's,
Is that what we?
does that need to be one motion or two, Christopher?
I would
I don't want to convolute their first one on their rezoning, is what I
I would make it two.
I'll make a motion to approve.
have a motion to approve the rezoning application. Mr. Ash, do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye. All right. Those opposed?
No,
That motion will carry 7-1. Mr. Renfro voting no. That will go before the county commission now in January
Yes, sir, that'll be in January.
meeting. And now I'll entertain a motion on the fee schedule. Mr. Ash.
That Christopher work with the powers to be to make every effort to see if these folks can be reimbursed for their second application fee.
Okay.
second.
We have a motion from Mr. Ash, second from Mr. Turner. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion will carry too. Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is for informational purposes only, but I do need to read it into the record.
Okay.
This is a rezoning within Lebanon UGB. Signs have been posted for this. So application has been made by Steve Moore, representing property owners Kenneth Trout, Brandon Cochran, Maria Cochran, and Belinda Merritt, requesting the rezone the property from A1 agricultural to R3 planned residential. The property contains approximately 18 acres and is located at 478 Old Lagardo Road West and is referenced as further references parcel 35.01 on tax map 55 and parcel 5807 on Wilson County tax map 48. This is in Chad Bernard District 4. So Lebanon's Planning Commission will make the recommendation. If they choose to pursue it with a positive recommendation or appeal the decision, that would ultimately come back to the county commission for an R3 zone district. And to give you bearings on this, this is located on the west side of 109, just to the east of the apartment development that has went on off 70 there. But this property actually, it has access to that development, but its primary access would be off 109, I believe.
Okay.
Right
No
there.
action required on our part.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. You ready to move into site plans now?
Yes, sir. First site plan is the Enbridge Smoker Shed located at 7555 Franklin Road, map 101, parcel 38. With technical corrections, staff can recommend approval.
Who's here to represent this case today? Yes, sir.
My name is Jeremy Sherrod. I'm here for Jeff Brinley, construction 747 West College Street, Pulaski, Tennessee.
Okay. Anything you need to tell us or just here to answer questions?
Yes, sir. I'm just here as a representative in case you guys have questions.
What is this?
It's going to be a canopy that's juts off one of the existing buildings on the property, and they're considered it's called a smoker shed. So it's just for workers that are not allowed to smoke or vape inside to walk outside and not be in the rain.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was thinking you were cooking.
Yeah, I did too. It's barbecue.
My understanding is it's for workers. Yeah. I mean, I guess they actually could put a barbecue out there, but
I've been built a couple, 3 of those myself. There's certain standards for that, isn't there? Certain standards for those smoking sheds, or do you know?
as far what type standards?
It's got to have the right ventilation and lots
Well,
of,
it's going to be open on all three sides.
all 3 sides.
Yes, sir. It's basically just going to be a canopy with 2 legs that's tied to the building, and it'll have a
Stepping on the shade tree and smoking.
It seems a little bit overkill, but you know, yes, sir. I think that might just be the world we live in.
I think my colleague is mentioning due to the wind rating.
Yes, sir. It will be designed for the wind rating for this area. Yes, sir. For overturn moment, uplift, and all. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone here wishing to speak on this case today? Any questions from our board?
No, sir.
Do we have a motion?
Move it be approved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Noakes, second by Mr. Renfro. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion will carry. Thank you. Sir? Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir. You're welcome to stay, too. We have a site plan for the 840 Logistic Park Phase 2 on Macquarie Road.
Yes, sir. This property is located at 4008 McCreary Road, being map 140, parcel 702, and map 141, parcels 1, 2.11, 2.13, 2.17. With technical corrections, staff can recommend approval. This site is currently 3 parcels, so before you all see us, before we will sign a site plan for this, we are requiring them to combine these properties via plat. So the site plan before you does have some of the building infrastructure over existing property lines. They are aware of that, and they're in the process of combining that, but we will not stamp that site plan approved until that plat is recorded.
Okay. Okay. Who do we have here to represent this case today?
Morning, Nathan Quinn, 2952 Berry Hill Drive.
Okay.
I don't have any prepared comments, but can answer questions if there are any.
Okay. And, okay. If we have any, we'll get back to you in a second. Thank you, sir. Do we have anybody else here wishing to speak on this case? Do we have any questions from our board?
Yes, sir. Did I see that Macquarie Road has an access point on it? Your drawing kind of cleared that up. I just want to clarify. So you have access in and out of this property on Macquarie Road, or were you going to try to access it somewhere else?
No, sir. It'll be, the primary and only access right now will be off McCrary Road, and we're in the process. We just closed the road down to start utility relocations and our widening commitment that we made for the overall plan.
Remember the discussion.
And bridge replacement. So we're in the process of, starting to clear and do utility
The
relocations.
locals will have a way in, out, emergency vehicles, et cetera, is all.
We've coordinated all that with WEMA, Wilson County Schools,
Nice.
and the Sheriff's Department before we closed.
That was my question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
And did you have a recommendation on this, Christopher?
Yeah, I can recommend approval. Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure. Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Any other questions from our board? We have a motion.
Move we approve.
Motion approved, Mr. Renfro. Do we have a second? Second from Mr. Ash. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion will carry. We're ready for the site plan for the Jimmy Cumber billboard on Murfreesboro Road.
Yes, this is one lot located, map 92, parcel 5301. Site plan meets requirements. Staff can recommend approval. This site plan did get a variance request approval for the distance from the road yesterday at BZA. So that will be reflected with the BOZA case number on the final site plan.
They're actually just moving a sign, aren't they, Chris?
They're moving it from the south portion of this property to the northernmost portion of the property. It used to be whatever, I think everybody's familiar with it. It was the Sea Rock City sign that was right there on 231. They are moving that sign the same distance off the road as the Sea Rock City sign was. They're just moving it to the northern part, and that's why there's a site plan, because it's a relocation.
Well, this ain't the one he's got on the barn. We're actually moving
That one is going to be completely removed. That one will no longer be there.
then that sign or whatever will go on that billboard.
You're going to make him take the bank sign off the side of the barn?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, the vinyl sign on the side of the barn, no, that will stay. I thought you were referring to the Sea Rock City sign. Sorry.
And do you count the
Titan
sign on the gate? Is there, it says Comer on it?
No.
Yeah. I mean, he's already got a nomenclature. I didn't know if you guys were including that or not, or just leaving it alone.
I didn't. Are you talking about the cattle gate?
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Right. It has his name on it.
It's okay. Anyone else with any other questions? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Ms. Weathers. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Renfro. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion will carry. And we're ready for the site plan for infrastructure precast on Clemens Road.
This is located at 354 Clemens Road, being map 72, parcel 73. Applicant is going to remove the structure on site per the conversation with staff, so the need for water and sewer services will not be required on site. There were questions that there is a building on the site that was originally going to be left, but there are no sewer nor water hookups, and there is not an existing septic site on this location. So to get around that requirement, they are going to completely remove any structure from this.
One.
It is I-1, yes, sir. It'll be a contractor storage yard for, I believe it's tilt-up concrete is what they store. Site plan meets requirements. Staff can recommend approval. I do need to get in touch with the developer whenever I get a chance about the landscaping. They proposed a unique tree for that, but I can talk about that internally.
Okay. Who do we have here to represent this case today? Do we have anyone here who wishes to speak on this case today? Do we have any questions from our board?
Nay.
Wow. Do we have a motion?
You said about landscaping. So have y'all had that conversation?
We have, and they've shown landscaping on there. They did not have it on their original plan, and I did not have time to digest it after they'd sent me the revised. They're proposing eastern red cedars as their landscaping buffer, which is in keeping with what is existing on that site. It's just not typically a tree that we allow for a landscaping buffer, as it is very difficult to establish those on your own accord. They have a high fallout rate.
Okay. But you can deal with that before you sign their plat,
I
correct?
can, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a motion?
To approve.
Motion approved for Mr. Renfro. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second for Mr. Turner. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion will carry. Ready for the site plan, McQuarrie GCP.
With technical corrections, staff can recommend approval. Staff has also made the applicant aware of the existing detention pond on this site. Is not kept up with stormwater standards. Just want to make you all aware they are going to redesign that, but at present the existing system needs to be maintained.
And that's on the south side of Council Pike, correct?
South side of Couchville Pike, this is what is known as currently as the Big Rig Trucking Parking Facility, is what everybody would probably be familiar with it as.
Okay.
There will not be access on the McCreary Road of this site until the infrastructure improvements from the project that you just approved are completed.
Thank you, sir. Anyone here represent this case today? Mr. Quinn?
Me again. Yes, sir, that's correct. We're agreeing with staff comments and won't access that road until the widening improvements are completed. And then this also addresses and memorializes the drainage improvements that we're making at the intersection of McCreary and Vester Road. So this will actually allow that overland drainage ditch to run in that white area on the bottom of the page, just below the gray drive aisle that touches McCreary Road. So that'll carry all the water that currently gets trapped in the bathtub at the intersection down to Hurricane Creek.
Well, I can assure you have plenty of people waiting and watching to see how this turns out. Correct, Sheriff?
Still is going to be an engineering marvel. I'll tell you the truth.
I think you told us you're going to give them an award or something, maybe of your own
Put
make.
them on a magazine,
Pull this off.
Engineering Monthly. Or
Just to be clear with some folks I've talked to out there, when this is done, you do intend to actually. Right.
Yes, sir. We're widening the entire,
I mean, there's been some folks that think when it gets done, no, they're going to be able to access before. So.
that's right.
So and then you'll get the award, and we'll figure out what it's going to do.
if it drains.
If it drains.
Oh, it-
If gravity still works, it should work. Yes, sir.
Currently, I think it does.
Right.
Okay.
Thank
All right, thank you, sir. Anyone else wishing to speak on this project? Any questions from our board? We have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion from Mr. Ash to approve, second by Mr. Renfro. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion will carry. Ready for the final on Sunset Harbor?
Yes, sir. This is a revised final for Sunset Harbor located at Hidden Harbor Drive. It's 16 lots, map 50, parcel 173.00. The plat meets the requirements. Staff can recommend approval. This final plat revision is to create an open space lot on the southern end of the development with the goal, I believe this is still the goal, to be sold to the adjoining property owner to solve the need for access easement across future property owners. There is an access easement to the most southern portion of this property that accesses the Cross family property. This open space, I believe they're in talks to sell this small portion of open space to that family, so they will not have an access easement across multiple future property owners as opposed to just the one. It does not interfere with any of their minimum lot sizes in this development. They do have enough to offset that and still meet all the minimum lot requirements.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Corey Lieber, 2305 Klein Avenue. Just here to answer your questions.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else here that wishes to speak on this case today? Okay, have any questions from our board?
Just one, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chris, you got your pointer?
I do, yes,
Still
sir.
got access.
The Cross property is right here to the north, or this would be actually to the east, but there is an existing easement access that comes right across this new proposed open space to access this, and this easement comes off of, I want to say that's Nonneville Road. I may be wrong. I can't remember there.
Giving the homeowners in that other property access in and out without going all the way up and down these others. Is that what you?
Well, no, there's an existing driveway there that those homeowners have a deeded access easement, not only through this property, but a couple other properties to the east of this, or to the west of this. This is one where I believe there's an agreement to sell this property where they'll have one less easement access and they'll physically own that portion of property.
But they're still going to meet all the requirements as far as setbacks and everything go.
Yeah, it doesn't interfere with this lot any. They still meet all the setbacks. All their lots still meet minimum lot size. This is not a cluster development. It was originally approved at 25,000 minimum square foot lot size, and all the lots are that or greater.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Chris, go back to that right away just a minute. I'm trying to make sure I know the piece of property I'm talking about. So that is there was an old road through there at one time, I think, right?
Well, it's a driveway now, yes.
Mm-hmm. It's actually being used actively as,
Yeah, that's the primary entrance and exit, ingress and egress for the Cross family that live. Their home is, this is their homestead right there. And they come out, and this is the driveway that comes across, and it's Needmore Road where it accesses. But they have easement accesses through 1, 2, 3, 4 properties before they get to theirs. This is just going to cut one of those out. If it's sold, and they don't have to sell it, but
That's their intent.
to my knowledge, with talking with the developers, yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions from our board?
No, sir.
If not, I'll call for a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion to approve from Mr. Noakes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed. That motion will carry. Ready for the final on Willow Landing Phase 5A on Mays Chapel Road?
Yes, this is the 52 lots. This is the final phase of Willow Landing. It's Phase 5A. Plat meets requirements. Staff can recommend approval.
Who do we have here today to represent this case?
Good morning. I'm Matt Lawrence with Reagan Smith, just here to answer your questions. Like you said, it follows the prelim plat.
Okay. And this is served by Step System, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. We have anyone else here wishing to speak on this case today? Do we have any questions from our board?
None.
Does the step system have to be expanded to accommodate the new lots?
I believe, I'm not sure, it's flowing back into the existing Will Landing, phases to the west there. I believe they have expanded. I know it's West Wilson, they already have the lots and their system's up and running, so I'm not 100% sure on the engineering on that, but I can answer that question later.
Christopher, that's a bigger question we're going to get into more and more right now. Even if that has to be expanded to accommodate these new lots, I know there is a moratorium. Do we need to concern ourselves with that at this level, or do we let Wilson County Water Authority deal with that?
That moratorium is specifically a self-imposed moratorium by the Wilson County Water Authority. That does not affect any decisions made by this board. We do require a note on some of these developments when they originally come in that they are going to be served by public sewer. This board does not consider that it has to be the Wilson County Water Authority. So if these developers were able to find some other means for what we consider public sewer, they could go forth with their development. But those sewer entities do have to sign that final plat. So if they're utilizing Wilson County Water Authority and they can't get that signature and their vesting rights lapse, that is on them.
So the system of checks and balances we're dependent on here is whether or not they get their plat signed by Wilson County Water Authority.
That is true, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Any other questions from our board? Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Motion approved from Mr. Renfro. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Noakes. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? The motion will carry. Thank you, sir. Now ready for the preliminary for the Patsy Bryant property on 2355 West Salisbury Road.
Yes, this is 8 lots located at map 85, parcel 14. It's part of the Patsy Bryant property. This plat meets requirements. Staff can recommend approval. You will notice that these are A1 lots with 40,000 square foot lots. This plat was submitted prior to the decision of the Planning Commission's recommendation for the rule change last month.
Okay, so we treat it with that standard then.
Yes, sir.
Who do we have here to represent this case today?
Dan Curry, Crockett Surveying, here to answer any questions you all may have.
Thank you, Mr. Curry.
Yep.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Do we have any questions from our board?
No, sir.
Seeing none, well, call for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve, Mr. Ash, second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. And those opposed. That motion will carry. Ready for the preliminary, the Oaks Phase 3, 1021 Lone Oak Road.
Yeah, this is 21 lots, map 121, parcel 10.10. Plat meets requirements, staff can recommend approval. This came before you last month. They're just adding one lot to their overall development.
It went from 20 to 21.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who's here to represent this case today? Okay. Anyone here wishing to speak on this case? Any questions from our board? We have a motion.
Motion approved.
Motion approved from Mr. Renfro. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turner. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion will carry. Number 10, the preliminary for Hartsville Development LLC, 3495 Hartsville Pike.
Yes, sir. And this developer, this is 71 lots. This is map 44, parcel 47.00. They have requested deferral to the December agenda. They want to seek making this a gated community. They cannot do that without BOZA approval.
Do we have anyone here to speak on this case today? If not, I'll make a motion. We continue this case to the December meeting. So we have a second. Second by Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion will carry. Sketch plan, Harkreader Road.
This is Harkree Road. This is 55 lots. It's map 100, parcel 57. With stub out connections to the north, staff can recommend approval. These are not shown on your exhibit. This is also to be presented to you as a preliminary plat as opposed to a sketch, as all lots are above the 25,000 square foot requirement at the time of submittal. So it does read sketch on your agenda, but it is actually a preliminary. There will not be required amenities package with this development, as they are used by right development with no request to have lots below the lot size minimum for the R1 developer. For the R1 district, the developer is requesting that stub outs to the neighboring property not be required within this development. So that is a request that you all can approve as part of design. Our recommendation as staff is to have those stub outs for future connectivity when the property is developed.
Okay, thank you, sir. Who's here to represent this case today?
Morning. Jake Porter, Heritage Civil, the engineer on the project, 2055 North Mount Juliet Road. As Christopher said, we originally started off with a sketch plat with this one, and then came to realize that we pushed the lot sizes far enough that we could do a preliminary plat and not do the cluster ordinance. So that's why it shifted to a preliminary plat now. And we've also respectfully requested to not have the external connections for this project. The developer is wanting to do to maintain more of a secure, a cohesive, closed neighborhood feel, and having any external connections to properties that could develop in a different way or a different manner is always a bit of a hardship for existing neighborhoods. You always have people come out that don't want to necessarily have an additional connection, whether it's posted on there or not, and it just would continue. We couldn't guarantee that any connections to this part would be as cohesive or blend as well with this property as he's wanting to have. And again, security is another reason. It just having a closed loop, closed neighborhood feel is what we're really kind of going for with this particular developer and development. So if you have any questions, please let me know and I can answer them.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Christopher, where would you actually want the stub outs if you can just work off the map? Where would you typically require them?
Well, I mean, if I was going to get as many as possible, I would have one to the east and one to the north, because those are both larger tracks. Our original comments just have the one that we were mostly looking for to the north. Can you go back one slide, Naomi? The track to the north, it would allow, if that were to develop, it would allow a secondary connection onto a Loman Road, which is, I know Harkreader puts on Loman Road, but this would give the development through access from Harkreader to Loman Road without coming back on the main thoroughfare.
Okay.
And that's the reasoning behind that request. There is the option, I mean, gated communities, we do not require stub outs for gated communities. That does have a cap of 50 lots. This current development is one lot shy of meeting that requirement because they currently have 4 lots that front on Harkreader Road, which would not be considered lots behind the gate. So that is a possibility to make it a gated community and just completely do away with that requirement. But if it is going to be developed as presented, staff would encourage a stub out to the north at a minimum.
It's currently not, they're not proposing a gated community.
Not at present, no, sir.
What happens if they sometime later on decide they want to be? Or does it have to be done now?
Like how far down the road? Like after they start building homes?
Houses built and homeowners get together and they want to make a gated community. We can't do that, can we?
No, we're on the roads at that point.
Yeah, that process would not come before you at that point. It would be the HOA making an appeal to the road commission to you would not be involved in that process at that point. But I guess in theory it could be. It historically has not been done that way.
Anyone else here to speak on this case today? Any further questions from our board?
Yes, sir. A lot of the reasoning behind additional access is fire protection, emergency access, et cetera. So how are you accounting for that in the back corner of your properties off the main entrances? In a gated community, they got to do it anyway, regardless, but since you don't want the connectors, what are you doing to make sure that there's no issues to service these homes?
So just to step back onto another comment, there is no intent for a gated community. We don't want to do a gated community now. I do understand in the future, if they come back, I guess that's, Christopher said you can't, once the roads are public, I think it'd be very difficult to get it gated. So there's no intention here for a gated community. Yeah. As far as the emergency services access to this point, everything would come in and out of the main part of the subdivision. It's only 54 lots now. And I believe it's 99 lots. I know Captain Callan's back here. That is the limit to require 2 access points for emergency services.
So it's 54, not...
Was it submitted at 55 and we had comments to amend it? Okay, we did not update our agenda. They had too many lots on their submittal.
We rounded our
54.
Our calculations rounded up, and Christopher let us know that you just round down to that 54. So it's 54 lots total.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from our board? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve based on staff recommendations.
Well, we got to have more than that.
Oh, okay, give me one.
What about the connector
Oh,
roads?
the connector roads, well, they're not in here. They were,
His recommendation is to have them. Okay, as long as
yes,
Christopher's recommendation is to add.
yes,
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Weathers to approve the development with the stub outs
yes.
to the east and north, is that
Well, the only one that I'm specifically calling for is the north.
That's what he said.
with the stub out to the north?
I have a question though. Are they going to lose a lot if they do that? Or is that what the green's for?
I believe that green is their soils area.
Yeah.
It's their preliminary soils area.
So that's how we get to the 54 from the 55?
Well, no, 54 that's what's allowed. Whenever we consider subdivision development, if you have a development after we do the density math, if you come up to 54.9 lots, you're only allowed 54. You have to have the whole lot.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it comes out to 54.99, you have to have the entirety of the lot.
We do have a motion to approve based on staff recommendation of adding the connector road to the north.
That
Do
is,
we have a second?
I have a question, sir, since that, if I may interject.
Yes, sir.
So, Chris, show us where that connector would exactly be.
well, I'm not gonna, I wouldn't
You said to the
require,
north, so it could be any of the lots.
it could be in between any of
It
those
hasn't been
lots.
discussed about a specific area.
Correct.
Sorry, sir.
I'm gonna allow the developer a little freedom on,
But that's
topo.
something y'all can work out before you sign any plat anyway.
Well, yeah, it would be shown on this on this preliminary, before I would even allow it to move to final, because I'm not gonna let a final come before you that does not match up with your existing preliminary.
Second is just so we have conversation.
Okay, we have a second. Sheriff Ash, comment?
You're satisfied the way this is going, whether we cut it back and this whole thing, you're good with it, staff's good with it?
With the 54 lots? Yes, the lot count, yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion will carry. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
We have a 5-minute break or a 2-minute?
We will go out of session until 11 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we'll call our meeting back to order.
Mr. Chairman, before we continue with Chris, a question that was brought up by my colleague, and I had it as well, in reference to the moratorium for sewer connections, for step systems, there's a delay in place. So are these developers waiting to put in their sewer system until all of that gets passed?
It is my understanding they will not allow you to bring anything new. They will not sign any plats until their systems are brought to the standard that they're
Some of
expecting.
these meet that. They're new and they need to,
Not these. I'm talking about the system-wide, Wilson County Water Authority step system as a whole is brought into compliance. They are not going to allow you to expand or put a new step system in until such time as the whole of the step system.
so some
Is it-
of these don't have a new step system, they're going to an existing? All of these are going to an existing?
Well, no, some of these could be coming before us, but we've been advised, we do business as usual. They're not going to be able to get their plats signed by Wilson County Water Authority, which is going to prohibit them from getting them recorded. Therefore, they're going to be in a hold on and wait mode until Wilson County Water Authority.
Doesn't affect us approving, disapproving, or anything?
That is what the determination we've made.
It's them.
It does start their vesting time clock, but that's not for your all's consideration on other entities that they have to work through.
So if this is delayed past the point of the 2-year, the 5-year, whatever
It's
that
a
is.
gamble they're willing to take at this point.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ash.
So, that's self-imposed moratorium.
Yes, sir.
So,
They don't like that word.
oh, okay, that's the moratorium they put on there.
That's the word they don't like.
That's a moratorium that can be lifted
It could be,
time limit, right?
they could lift it at their next board meeting.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay.
But it was originally for 6 months.
They like the word pause.
Yes, that's the
Oh,
That's the words they use.
Put on it.
That's the word they don't like.
Well, everybody can spell that one, so it makes it easier.
In this room, we can't.
Sheriff, a small respite.
Rest my case.
There you go. We're ready to move forward, Christopher.
All right. Next development that you have is the sketch plan for 13530 Central Pike. This is 146 lots. It's map 100, parcel 28. That development and the previous development have been renamed, just to let you all know when you see it going forward again. We do not allow developments to be named after the road they're being placed on. With stub-out connections to the Ravenscrest development, staff can recommend approval. Part of Ravenscrest are currently developed, so possible stub-outs would require some roads to be relocated if/when Ravenscrest gets to this phase, which is phase 9 in their original development. To promote additional interconnectivity, developer is requesting that stub-outs to neighboring properties not be required within this development. There is, if y'all want to turn around real quick, there's an existing Phase 9 development of Ravenscrest entrance right here that comes down this stub road that accesses the further. There is currently 2 Ravenscrest developments, entrances currently with the existing development, one on Glayville Road, the other one is on Jackson Road that goes down by the middle school, the Glayville Middle School. This development has an entrance proposed right here, so these entrances would be fairly close if both of them were built, and that's the reasoning for the stub out. There is existing right-of-way that would all be here, so there could possibly be a stub out here. There's also the ability there's lots on Ravenscrest that a stub out could come through here, and there would be a little bit of a construction document redesign to connect that through. This development will have to have 2 entrances, so there's the one proposed where they originally have, and the other one is over here kind of under the L on Central Pike. So that development, because it is over 99 lots, is required to have 2 separate entrances. There is all of these lots on the western side of this development. All of these, if Ravenscrest gets built out, they will have a public right-of-way directly behind their rear yards if that development were to build out based off this existing preliminary design. So at a minimum, these lots may need to be, just to protect these future residents, staff would probably propose, and this would be more at a preliminary when we look more down in detail on this, that there'd be a buffer between the existing Ravenscrest property and the rear lot lines. That way, there's not an existing road that comes through, and now all these lots have public roads on both sides of their property. It doesn't seem fair to future property owners, but we'll discuss that at the preliminary.
This is a sketch plat on this.
This is just a sketch, and I understand if the board wishes to not require interconnectivity between this and Ravenscrest development, as Ravenscrest already has 2 accesses, and they will be required to do the third if and when they ever get there. I mean, Ravenscrest has been a long, slow development, but that is part of the initial recommendation.
What's the total acreage on this tract, Christopher?
All right, give me a second, I'll get that for you. 112.
Okay, thank you.
So is there a road, is an entrance off Jackson?
There is currently an existing public right-of-way off Jackson for Ravenscrest.
Have they ever widened, we hadn't been out there lately, have they widened Jackson Road in?
Yeah, it's 3 lanes all the way past to the school.
When it done the school. Yes, sir.
So where does this empty out in comparison to where the school is?
This, nowhere near it. This is on Central Pike. The school is down on Stewart.
Ravenscrest dumps.
Okay, all right, now
Dumps.
it's clear. Okay.
This connects to Ravenscrest, potentially.
It could potentially, and I mean, this would be one of, I don't know. It's up to you all on that, but just to promote interconnectivity, that could ultimately do away with the location of the existing entrances. The developer has brought up a feasible point. If we require that stub out and Ravenscrest redesigns, they would be off the hook for that connection onto Central Pike, because this development is in essence giving them 2.
And Central Pike is a state road, correct?
Yes.
It is, yes, sir. They, talking with our representatives at TDOT, they will enforce our minimum criterion of multiple entrances and center turn lane and decel lanes at both of those entrances, regardless of what a traffic study says.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Jay Porter, Heritage Civil, engineer on the project. So this one's a little bit more, I'm going to say confusing, but elaborate. So we do, since we have 145 lots, we need 2 access points. The 2 access points we proposed are on, excuse me, on Central Pike currently, because one of the comments was that any connections to Ridgecrest would not be treated as an actual access point. Ravenscrest would not be actually connected. So what we've proposed is 2 connections to Central Pike, but we'd also would be open to removing that northwestern access point there if we were to connect to you say it's phase 9 of Ravenscrest?
It's phase 9.
That way to prevent multiple access points onto Central Pike. They're relatively close, which we had talked about.
Yes.
But we would be okay with going into Ravenscrest as long as it counted as our second access point. As far as the access points to the south, it's the same developer as the previous one I was up here for discussing, and it's really the I say security, but it's about, I know we want connectivity for emergency services and everything like that, but as far as the development standpoint goes, we're wanting kind of exclusivity and community feel in this neighborhood. And in 15 years, if the other surrounding properties develop, they don't want to keep adding up to potentially 700 homes going through here as a cut through, and just having that extra amount of traffic is not exactly what they're looking for these future homes. At that plate, I actually talked to Christopher just a moment ago about potentially doing crash gates. If it's an emergency services issue that we're wanting, then we would be open to. This is a sketch plat, so it can be modified a little bit in the future. Open to having a connection if we needed, but we would be supplying a crash gate. That way, we could eliminate that the cross traffic from civilians, but the fire emergency services could come through if they needed to.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher, can you tell me if any consideration has been given here? This piece of property is literally hundreds of feet just past the new elementary school being built on Central Pike.
Yes, sir.
What considerations are we supposed to take into account as from a traffic standpoint, from a feasibility standpoint, from a safety standpoint, as it pertains to that new school opening next August?
Well, Plans have been made available. We send everything to the Wilson County School Board for this. They are under the inclination if we approve it, that's their job to house those students. There will be a traffic study required for this because it is over 50 lots development at the preliminary stage. We are going to require our entrance regardless. That traffic study could call out with the school board traffic. We are going to have them, be aware of that, and there are going to be significant peak hours for that. That could lay into additional infrastructure requirements required by the developer and TDOT in that instance. I'm sure I'll be more in depth with TDOT on this, but as far as land use entitlements for the development, they're only asking what they can get out of this.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else here wishing to speak on this case today?
Because that is Central Pike.
Sir? It's a state road. It's Central Pike. Central Pike is a state road.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to speak on this case today? Do we have any questions from our board?
Yes, sir, for Chris. So as this is sketched, if I understand what you stated, the request that the stub outs not be considered is moot because there's two entrances, egress, ingress in this property. Is that right?
Well, no, the two entrances is because the development is
With ingress and egress. Stub outs just touch other properties for future development. These aren't points of egress and egress that they're asking to be removed.
the 2 points of ingress egress would be required because it's over 99 lots. The stub outs would be for additional future connectivity.
And then tie into their system they're planning on building for water and sewer and et cetera.
Yeah, those stub outs are in the past have historically always been water and sewer is looped in there as well.
So the size of the land mass would have to be. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't give it, or you don't put the stub outs in, you're required to have less area for your water treatment, according to what we've been reading, right? So, because they're not going to add it as part of the build.
Are we talking about water treatment or looped utilities?
The sewer, yes, because of the percentages that we've all been studying.
I don't know where the proposal for this site is to be treated at or if it's going to be an on-site system, but the water treatment as far as the effluent, the water authority will require soils to be, the developer has to provide enough soils, whether it be on-site or off-site.
But without connectors, it stops there. There's no additional growth for this particular.
But the utilities have a way of making sure it gets to, with existing infrastructure or new infrastructure, they've got a better ability to loop systems than we do.
The reason for the question, Mr. Chairman, was we've been talking about additional percentages of water treatment soils for projected growth. Well, if you're not having connectors, this is it. It's truncated and it's done, so their soils would be what it is. But if they don't,
Potentially, yes, sir.
yes, but if they don't have connectors, or they do have connectors, that has to be added into their space for treatment, effluent treatment.
Well, anything that would be a connector that would tie this in, whoever tied that in would be responsible for their own soils area. It doesn't have to be, it would have to be independent of this. It could be tied together if it worked out right. But if I brought a new proposal that tied into this tomorrow, it'd be my responsibility to have my own soils or make my own arrangements to deal with my own water.
I misread then what I'm hearing on public record with the water department that they're asking for possible growth up and above for.
I don't know that they're asking potential growth. I think they're asking for 50% extra soils in case there's a problem with what they are job specific
Problem, not
for.
growth, then, sir, did I misread that?
I'm sorry?
It's problem, like you indicated, not growth?
I don't think they are asking for any soils for any additional potential development in the future. It's about dealing with what's on the plat that's in front of them.
Okay, thank you for that clarity.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions from our board?
Yeah, one of them. Christopher, when do you think you'll meet with TDOT?
We typically don't meet with TDOT on subdivision developments until they get to construction documents, which would be after a preliminary approval.
I think we all know there's a lot of construction coming down Central Pike.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I'm even concerned about the school. That traffic's crazy.
That is not my primary. Do we have the ability to get some of these questions answered before we make a decision on this, Chris, as it pertains to road and safety?
Yeah, that would typically be done at like the preliminary, and you could make a motion approval that they get documentation to you for.
You've heard me say it before. The first time we say yes here,
Yep.
it makes it extremely difficult to come up with a no at any point in the future. The first time you say yes, you're almost committing yourself to making something work going forward. And I'm sure
You could you could possibly defer a case to get additional traffic study information. Traffic impact studies have not ever been required at the concept or sketch phase. They're just solely based on lot entitlements and conceptual layout.
in my 20 years here, I'm not sure we've had one that's literally being built a few hundred feet in front of a new elementary school.
I would probably say that's accurate.
Okay.
So this is
Literally across the road from a new.
correct, but it's extenuating circumstances, so a deferral might be in order just to get that information. But can they do a traffic study in 30 days?
No.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. Yes, sir.
Again, just reiterate what Christopher was saying, is this is a sketch plat.
I understand.
And we have a lot of things to work through. I say a lot, not in a negative way, but there's always a lot of things to work through, and this is one of those. The traffic study, a traffic study is required.
With the submittal of the preliminary.
With the submittal of the preliminary plat. So at that point where the preliminary plat is whenever there would be the concrete recommendations from a traffic study, from staff, honestly from us, like there's no intent on our side to by any means build anything that is going to be detrimental to Central Pike or anything in the surrounding area. So we just don't want to, we want to make sure we can get the sketch plat through for the concept, and then we can get all that stuff worked out before preliminary.
Once this board says yes, this very first time, we lose a lot of ability to have any control going forward as it pertains to this development.
Understood.
But that's okay. Thank you. Any other questions from our board?
All of those requirements, like if the board approves that, they have to be able to accommodate all those stipulations of the preliminary plat within a 1-year period. A sketch does not lock in long-term vesting. A sketch is something unique that this county offers for smaller lot sizes in a development, and it only offers a 1-year period. So if they cannot figure all the requirements of the preliminary out within 1 year, the entire development loses its vesting.
I've got some real concerns about the traffic around the school. These other members may not, but
Yes, sir.
it's okay. Any other questions from our board?
You said a comment that I'd like to expound on.
Yes, sir.
Saying yes is difficult to adjust later, but not impossible.
It is not impossible. No, sir. I didn't even mean to apply that.
So we see something we don't like. There's no reason that a board, to account for children's safety and Wilson County, to say, hey, we don't like this.
Well, I think.
I got no problem doing that.
What you just said is more of a blanket statement as it pertains around safety and traffic. Once you say yes to the sketch plat, I don't know that you can use a blanket statement to try to stop a development, is my concern with that.
Deferred, how long would you recommend for?
Well, I have no idea how long it takes to get that kind of data put together. That's your expertise, certainly not mine. And Christopher may have a lot more insight on that.
I would say probably a typical traffic study from scratch probably takes 90 days.
And they would have to agree to continue this for 90 days. Is that an accurate statement?
They would, if you're going to defer it that long. You have 60 days to act on any plat.
We have the ability to defer one time.
Yes, sir, and for a 30-day period.
Okay.
But, I do want to reiterate that a traffic study is not a requirement that is listed in our zoning ordinance for a concept plan.
I completely understand it.
Yes, sir.
We feel better.
And this is not a rezoning. He has land rights here, and I completely understand that. Okay. Any other comments from our board?
I have a question about the stub out to Ravenscrest. You said that would be in the Phase 9?
It would be, yes, sir.
Do we already know what Phase 9 would look like from Ravenscrest?
We have a conceptual idea from a approved preliminary, yes, sir.
Stub outs from Ravenscrest to this property?
in the essence of a general stub out, no, but this entire western border right here is a proposed public right-of-way, and that is a 50-foot strip, so that entire section of this development would have access to Ravens Crest.
One of the problems you want to deal with going forward.
Yes, I would address that specifically on the preliminary for a buffer there, because I don't think it's fair to future homeowners there.
I agree. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion for deferral to get more data, if it's possible, that will help us make a better decision.
Okay. We would have to ask the developer if he's willing to do that. We only have 30 days. We have to act on this in December unless it's agreed to. Correct, Christopher?
That is correct. If you can't make a decision, yay or nay, in December, the sketch plat would be automatically approved.
It's not fair to ask him to get something done in 30 days that we know is probably not practical.
Right, and you also, if you're going to defer it, you need to request what data you're looking for. And even if it's inconceivable, I mean, they'll have to come back and present at that point saying that they were unable to maintain that. But
is it fair to say a traffic study addresses traffic and safety, taking into account all of the surrounding areas?
that could
Fair
be,
to say that?
that could be the reason for deferral. If they don't agree to a longer deferral, though, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you'd have that data in 30 days.
Your client agreed to a longer deferral?
60?
90 days is what you thought was a reasonable amount of time?
Well,
If that's the case, you need to have the you need to have the applicant make that deferral request as opposed to you, and then you all just approve it based off their request.
Would we possibly?
If you need to confer with your client, please take a minute and do so.
If you don't-
Please take a moment and do so. I'm sorry.
If we table this and move on to the next one and give them some time to.
Sing it again.
The next one's his as well.
Oh, next one's his as well.
So just for.
He's the next one anyway.
Chairman,
He's the next thing.
just for discussion, see if I got my mind around this. So if we don't do a deferral, they don't agree to, then we need to vote.
Vote it up or down, yes, sir. We would have to have a justifiable reason.
We can't defer it ourselves right now.
We can defer it for 30 days right now. We cannot defer it any longer than that.
They can't get a decent tractor.
Well, it wouldn't be fair to them to put them in that position.
But what Chris said is it's automatically at the end of that deferral.
If it's not agreed upon, that's
It's
right.
not agreed upon. So it becomes plat approval at the end of that 30 days, which kind of puts us in a corner regardless for a 30-day, if they don't give us something longer.
When the preliminary comes back with the traffic study, why can't we deny it based on new information from the traffic study?
You could. That would be grounds to deny it.
Well, why I'm not going to argue that with Christopher. That first yes is a big yes going forward. If you want, I'm not saying you completely lose control, but once you agree that first time conceptually, I find it very
If
difficult.
we don't agree and it just moved forward and then they came back to us, we never agreed, it just moved forward because we didn't do
Correct.
anything.
At the 30. That's correct.
So it.
Well, I agree.
so that-
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
A developer is willing to defer for 90 days. I want to double check before you say that with Christopher, that the 1-year vesting period doesn't start until our approval is granted.
That would be correct.
Okay, so he has the same concerns as far as the subdivision and the school and the safety and the road. So we're very more than happy to accommodate that.
And I'm okay with you deferring that until you can get that work done.
Okay.
And giving Christopher and them the proper amount of, was it 24 days? Is that what you said you have to have before?
Well,
You're extending it.
well, with the deferral, we'll make sure it gets on the proper agenda.
As long as
Yeah.
you've got time to get it on the agenda and advertise it.
If the developer is requesting an open-end deferral, yeah, we'd need to know 24 days prior to the upcoming agenda. Yes.
And that would be okay with where this is a sketch plat utilizing the variable, the cluster provision.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I would think at that point, I would prefer a deferral indefinitely, just in case, I don't want to say 90 days and it's ready in 30, we
wanna
can
put
come
you
back.
in that corner.
Right, we want to make sure that we get the appropriate information and give you all time as well
Yeah.
to look at it and get through it.
And I'm not trying to make this anybody, I'm fine with the applicant requesting a deferral indefinitely. I would like to see some sort of time constraint on there because indefinitely is indefinitely. So, I mean, you can put
6 months.
I would put a cap on it. Like if you're going to approve his deferral request, put a maximum on it.
Or 20 days.
That's fine.
Well, what would you be comfortable with?
We would request, so looking at the school systems going to winter break and getting closed, the counts, I'm not sure if they have for this road, so we want to make sure we get those appropriate. The school traffic counts is what always comes into tie. So I would say a minimum of a 60-day deferral, but at most 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah, we're okay with a cap too. That's we don't want to come back 20 years.
Well, we want to accommodate you because you're trying to help us.
So 6 months max would be great, but I don't think it would take us that long to get it completed.
Would it be okay for you to tell the owner over there that we appreciate y'all working with us?
He appreciates you, Mr. Elsman.
Okay. Okay. I will make a motion, we defer this for a time limit of no longer than 6 months, and it would be the developer's responsibility to give you ample notice to get this advertised and on our agenda before the meeting he actually comes before, whether that be next month or in that 6 month.
Yep.
I'll make that
Can you amend
at the
that?
owner's request.
There we go.
I was say we request that.
Do we have a second? Second. We have a second from Mr. Renfro. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed? Three.
And it was up to 6 months. That was
Up to 6 months, yes, sir.
Excellent.
all right. The last subdivision, the big development that we have on there is the sketch plan for Pine Creek Estates. This is 163 lots, map 120, parcel 18. Sketch plat meets requirements. Staff can recommend approval. You all are probably very familiar with this development. It started back in 2013. This will reset their vesting on this particular part of it. It is entitling them to the rest of the lots that are there. They're not adding any lots. They are wanting to change the layout significantly internally, but we can work with that. They will be required to do 2 entrances on there. They were not locked into anything previously on entrances without a decel, an acceleration lane, and center turn lane on there. So they will be required that, and the reason that they were not locked into that back in 2013 is this development, the only lots that were platted were lots on existing road infrastructure, so construction documents were never vested for this development. Because that question
They're not
did come
adding
up.
any lots from what was previously approved in 20.
No, sir, it'll be the exact same lot
Or
count.
just a different configuration. Okay. Who do we have here to represent this today?
Good morning. Adam Sager with Dale & Associates. We're the civil engineer and applicant on this one. And like Christopher said, this was approved in 2013. We have an opportunity to kind of reset it again, mainly because we had additional soils areas when it was previously approved. A lot of the soils areas were kind of in the preliminary state. Those have all been completed, surveyed, done, documented. We know where those are, and they kind of encroached on some of our lots. And so I had this opportunity to say, why don't we go ahead and just update the internal configuration to adjust for that, reset it, make sure it's all aligning going forward. No new accesses, no more density. It's all pretty similar to what was approved before. So
You've cleaned it up.
we've cleaned it up. Yeah. If y'all have any questions, happy to answer them.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else here today wishing to speak on this case? Any questions from our board? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
I have a motion to approve from Mr. Renfro. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Weathers. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion will carry.
All right, I have a number of affirmation plats. I have the subdivision of the Joel Ray Spec. Can I group all these together, sir? All right, I'm getting a nod from Jamie. I'm just going to take that as a yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I got a subdivision of the Joel Ray Spec property, 1325 Rogers Lane, map 38, parcel 29.10. The re-subdivision of the Ruby Hasty property, lot 11, which is one lot at 2600 Linwood Road, map 106, parcel 25.15. Re-subdivision of the James David Collinsworth property, located at 2929 and the 2893 Callis Road for one lot, map 94, parcels 21.00 and 21.01. The re-subdivision of the Sidney Mosley property, Lot 8, which is 2 lots at 1766 Beloits Ferry Road, map 24, parcel 27. The final of the Jerry Scherer property, 1 lot, 3323 Chicken Road, map 125, parcel 3. The final of the Clemens property, which is 1330 Vesta Road, which is map 142, 3501. The final of the Lewis property, which is 1 lot at 5779 Beckwith Road, map 95, parcel 3202, and the boundary of the Joseph L. and Penny Smith Ketherly property, which is 1 lot 8465 Hartsville Pike, map 22, parcel 20.06. All of these either meet minimum requirements at this point or have minor technical corrections. Staff can recommend approval.
Thank you. Anyone here wishing to speak on any of these cases today? Any questions for our board? Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
I have a motion to approve, a second by Mr. Noakes. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion will carry. And we will jump back to the front of our agenda now, Christopher.
Yes, and this is the resolution amending the Plan Unit Development Overlay District within the Wilson County, Tennessee zoning ordinance. We did have a seminar of everything, of all the changes were in this. The major changes are some of the base amenity requirements, the total acreage needed for a PUD, which goes down from 100 acres to 30. And I have been asked the reasoning behind that. At the 1.75 lots per acre that I've allowed in the PUD overlay, the 30 units gets it to 53 lots, I believe, off the top of my head. So that seems to be a threshold that we can require a traffic study as well. And
The 1.75 is based on total acreage, correct?
total acreage, there's not a discount similar to the cluster provision for the PUD. So to give you that, like on 100 acres, that would be 175 lots. I do have a preservation requirement in there of any residential PUD of a minimum of 30% off the top. And that 30% cannot include soils areas, detention areas, or any sort of roadway infrastructure. It is, I believe, the way the county has wanted to go is to preserve as much green space as physically possible, and I feel like this kind of helps speak to that some. So that 30% cannot be used for any of those infrastructure improvements. It will be left undisturbed. I don't want to see it as part of your overall construction layout for design. You're not going to be taking dirt from that area and bringing in fill from another. It is going to be left as it sits currently. Those are the major
We're going to be in the 50% range on most things, likely.
Most likely. I mean, I don't think most lots in the county are going to be able to promote the amount of density that I allowed, but I need something for the development community to actually, I need some sort of leverage because the requirements that I'm putting on the front end on this are substantial compared to our other developments in the county. Okay. And this is only for R1 and R2. R3 is a planned unit overlay in itself. A1, we do not allow PUDs in, or A2. And I'm happy to answer any other questions that you all may have come up with in the interim.
The walking trails that can be in that 30% set aside, can that count as for one of the amenities or not?
It can be set if they choose to pave it and make it not a passive walking trail. Yes, I would count that towards some aspect of the amenity, but
They can't do anything in the open space, right?
They can't say
In the initial 30% of
they
land.
can't put any infrastructure development in that open space. If they wanted to make some sort of internal walking trail, I would work with them on that. That's very low disturbance, and I feel like that may offer something to the community. But as far as putting like their clubhouse in that 30%, a higher impact amenity, that would not be permitted. Does that answer your question, Mr. Turner?
Yeah.
Good with that. Any other questions for Christopher on this?
From us or from them?
Anyone? But, Christopher, does this stop here, or does the county commission approve it?
No, the county commission has to approve it. So you all are making a recommendation for, against, or if you have suggestions.
Do we have anyone here wishing to, nobody left over there to talk to? Do we have anyone here wishing to speak on this case today? Okay. Now, Any questions from our board?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Renfro?
We may have discussed it, but not in detail before, so I'm looking for clarity here. You're changing this because of outside pressure from developers, or because we want to be cohesive with surrounding counties?
No, none of
The above, none of the above, what?
Well, it is going to add some cohesiveness with surrounding counties. Our densities in my proposed PUD are less than what surrounding counties' PUDs allow, so we're a little more strict on that end. But no, I've not had any outside pressure from developers on the PUD. It's with the zoning change, this kind of gives developers an avenue to still get some density with some considerations for offsetting that with amenities and open preserved green space. But no, this is kind of to piggyback off of the preservation aspect that I feel like the county commission is trying to promote with the land use plan and zoning going forward. But no, to answer your question, no, I've not had any outside pressure from developers on amending this PUD.
Is, as far as good for Wilson County and the folks that live here, does this improve their life?
I think it
Cause issues with surrounding properties?
I think it protects surrounding properties more, in my opinion, by requiring that preservation area and the buffer requirements that are in there, and then with the amenities that are required, it kind of makes that neighborhood almost internal in some of the entertainment aspect of that. They don't have to travel as much, so it'd be less impact on public infrastructure. But as far as if you're saying that you're a neighbor that you have a 100-acre farm next to you and it gets developed, is that going to affect your quality of life? Probably. I mean, I don't know. Trying to protect them as best as possible, but if somebody offers to develop a property, I can't tell them they can't.
And what of, is this the same document we looked at before? Does it have the ranges of sizes, or are they fixed values for lot sizes?
There is no lot size minimum in that PUD requirement. It gives the developer freedom to design the lots as they see fit, as long as they can fit within the requirements of the PUD. There's no lot size minimum. There are setback
Not in
minimums.
agriculture, but only R1, R2.
R1 and R2. There are setback minimums that they have to follow, but as far as lot size, there is no lot size minimum in the PUD to give
It's gonna
developers
get like the Nashville downtown adjacent to the colleges, where they had a single home, acre and a half, and now they got 9 homes and a setback of 3 feet? That kind of thing? We're gonna start seeing?
I guess it could look like that a little bit as far as the amount of homes on an acreage, yes, but there is a minimum of a 20-foot separation between single-family homes in this PUD. So the closest 2 homes would be 20 foot, and that is outlined in that document. So yes, it's 10 foot. It's outlined as 10-foot side yard setbacks at a minimum per lot.
We waive that on Cumberland, Trace, whatever it was.
We didn't waive any setbacks.
No, you did not waive setback requirements.
Mr. Chairman, that's all the questions I have.
To expand on that just a little bit, Mr. Renfro, we have an existing PUD ordinance.
Correct.
And what he is doing is absolutely creating more green space and taking the ability to use step systems, roadways, any other kind of infrastructure out of that total percentage of open space it has to be. From a preservation standpoint, this has to be a win in this particular ordinance, if that answers.
Well, I'm speaking.
We're raising the bar in the PUD ordinance.
That's good, because from experience, I travel the world and I have seen a cluster of garbage where people have built these type things, different countries,
sure,
but different parts of this country, and it's a mess. And I think too much of Wilson County, my neighbors, my colleagues, to just blanketly say, yeah, this is great, as long as it's, that's the reason I asked the question to Chris. Is this good for my neighbors, your neighbors, the neighbors to the PUDs, and that kind of thing? That's my concern.
It's better than it is right this minute.
Right this minute.
I think is the only real way to answer that.
Yeah, that's my delineation, is what's the delta? And if it's an approval or an improvement, then I would welcome anybody to say they don't like it, and I'd like to hear that. But if I don't hear that, I guess the neighbors are okay. So
now you could argue against any density if you were so inclined to, but from where we stand today on PUDs to what he's proposing is an improvement. I don't think anyone can argue that.
Well, as long as we're not building beehives, I mean.
I don't think that's the intent.
Okay.
Sometimes the intent doesn't pan out. I get that. So
Yes, sir.
I understand that.
Just wanted to go on record for that, so.
Any other questions or comments from our board?
Is it too late for public comment?
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Okay. Do we have a motion? I'll make a motion. We approve the new PUD ordinance as proposed. Do we have a second? Second from Mr. Noakes. All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, that motion will be sent to the county commission December, January?
It'll be in December. They, zoning resolutions only need 15 days notice.
It'll go to the county commission at some time.
It'll be in December. December, yes, ma'am. The only last two things before you adjourn that I have for you. I am continuing to work for continuing education, sorry, for the board and BOZA. I will have those people hopefully finally lined up. I've got a couple more meetings I need to hash out for the details on that, but that'll probably be the turn of the 2026, be first of 2026 is when those continuing education meetings will happen. I do want to apologize in advance for December's planning commission agenda. You will have 3 zoning resolutions on that agenda.
Maybe 3 hours one night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, Mr. Ash.
We toward the end.
We're at the end.
I'd like to ask the mayor, we've got some board members really under the weather and got some issues going on, and we'd say a prayer for them, holidays and everything coming up, and I've asked the mayor, and he said he would do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Lord, we just bow before you. We thank you for the many blessings of life that you've given us. Lord, we thank you during this season for our health, and we think that we would never take that for granted, Lord. We know we have some of our members that maybe are battling some issues, and we pray that you'd be with them and their families during this time, and that you would comfort them and help them to overcome their situations. For we know as a board we have many decisions that we make here every day, and hopefully that we make those, Lord, and with your guidance on doing what's best for the people that we represent. We thank you for the members of this board and those that are willing to serve and make hard decisions. We appreciate them and what they do here, and we just always ask for your guidance and your leadership. Thank you for where we get a chance to live. Thank you for dying for our sins, and we're very thankful during this upcoming holiday season, Lord. As always, forgive us of our sins and shortcomings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Christopher, do you have anything else at all, sir?
I do not, no, sir.
Okay. Having said that, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.